Someone has probably called you a Neanderthal before, usually as an insult. Slow, brutish, primitive. But the real answer is far stranger. Neanderthals had brains as large as yours. Some studies suggest slightly larger. They made tools, controlled fire, buried their dead, and survived brutal ice ages for over 300,000 years. Your ancestors, Homo sapiens, only showed up in Europe around 45,000 years ago. And within a few thousand years, the Neanderthals were gone. What actually happened between these two kinds of human? For decades, the story was simple. Smarter humans replaced dumber Neanderthals. Clean, tidy, wrong. Geneticist Svante Pääbo and his team sequenced the Neanderthal genome in 2010. The discovery shocked the scientific world. Neanderthals didn't just disappear, they merged into you. If you have European or Asian ancestry, somewhere between 1% and 4% of your DNA is Neanderthal. Think about that. Part of you is still walking around in a body that isn't fully Homo sapiens. So why did one group vanish while the other spread across the planet? Paleoanthropologist Chris Stringer has spent decades studying this question. His research points to climate instability. Ice ages came and went in rapid, brutal swings. Neanderthal populations were small and scattered. Estimates suggest fewer than 70,000 individuals existed at any time. Small populations are fragile. One bad winter, one disease, one failed hunt, and a group disappears forever. Homo sapiens had something else: numbers and networks. Archaeologist Wragg Sykes has argued that Neanderthals were far more sophisticated than old textbooks claimed. They used medicinal plants. They made glue from tree bark through complex multi-step processes. They likely had symbolic thought. But sophistication alone doesn't guarantee survival. Researcher João Zilhão and others have shown that Homo sapiens built larger, more connected social networks. Bigger groups meant more trade, more shared knowledge, more genetic diversity. If one group struggled, neighboring groups could replenish it. Neanderthals lived in isolated pockets. When a small band vanished, no one replaced them. Here's where it gets uncomfortable. For thousands of years, both species lived side by side in parts of Europe and the Middle East. They didn't just compete for resources. They interbred. Repeatedly. The Neanderthal genome shows multiple waves of mixing, not one accidental encounter. This wasn't a clean replacement. It was centuries of overlap, conflict, and intimacy, blurred together until one population simply absorbed the other. You are not separate from that history. You are the product of it. Every time you fight off a virus, certain immune system genes inherited from Neanderthals may be doing some of the work. Researchers have linked Neanderthal DNA to immune response, skin pigmentation, and even sleep patterns. Some studies have connected it to your tolerance for cold. The species you were taught to see as a failed evolutionary branch never actually failed. It folded into you. So the next time someone calls you a Neanderthal as an insult, there's a strange twist hiding underneath it. They might be more right than they know. Not because you are slow or primitive, but because somewhere in your cells, a population that survived ice ages, raised children in caves, and vanished from the fossil record 40,000 years ago, is still quietly present. You were never the species that simply won. You were the species that absorbed. And maybe that's the real lesson hiding in human history. Survival was never really about being the strongest or the smartest alone. It was about connection, networks, the ability to merge rather than just compete. Someone called you a Neanderthal as an insult. Turns out, in a very real sense, they were right all along.